How did it start? Gail told us about it, but can you tell us how?
Well, it happened really early on. It was like 2005. Frank just got in touch with my manager and set up a phone call, and called me on the phone and was like, "Hey, I read your comic. I think it'd make a good TV show." And we ended up talking to NBC for a while, and it almost got to a pilot order at NBC, but then it just kind of fell apart. And Frank always stayed in the mix, and would talk to networks and was trying to get it made. And I'd see him every year at Comic-Con, and he'd, "Buddy, we're going to do this show. Don't you worry. I'm going to do it." And I'd be like, "It's been 3 years. I mean, you don't have to tell me this. I appreciate you still talking to me, but if it's not going to happen, it's okay." And then one day, I guess he was having a conversation with Gail, and she was talking about how she had discovered the comic, and he was like, "Oh, well, I've been trying to do that for a while." And they kind of joined forces and brought AMC into the mix. And then once Gail and AMC got involved, it was kind of, it's one of those things that they say about Hollywood. Deals take 7 years until they're happening, and then it takes 7 days. And, it was a lot of flurry of phone calls, and then next thing you know, here we are.
Quick question for you, Jeffrey. I'm assuming this season, without knowing, that you have sort of the budding relationship with Andrew starting. What is that like for you as an actor?
Boy, it's not budding yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at this point, I can barely get a kind word. So we'll see.
Are you looking forward to that? As an actor, it's kind of
well, it's certainly
changes the role
more pleasant to be on good terms with somebody on very bad terms. So, yeah, why not? Yeah.
What was your initial reaction to being offered the script? Because I'm familiar with Frank's work, and I know that you've done a lot of projects with him. Actually, myself and a friend of mine, when we found out that he was doing the show, and we're fans of the comics, said, "Who would make a great Dale?" Jeffrey, like, seriously.
That makes me feel nice.
We found out you were in it. So what was your reaction to getting the role initially? Or when he offered it?
I didn't know what he was talking about. I had not read the graphic novel. I'd never read any graphic novels. And I was on another job, and he called me and said, "Jeffrey, would you like to come to Atlanta and kill zombies?" And I said immediately, "Yes, I'll do it." Because he is such a wonderful creative force to be near. He works with the best people. He works with really nice people that you can get along with, good human beings. That combination of talent and decent personality, of course I want to be there. So it was only later that I began to grasp the nature of what we were doing. And it was like nothing I'd ever tried before. So that was the genesis of me ending up.
What was that wonderful quote or the thing you said to me when I asked you, did you know what he wanted, what you were going to do before you accepted it? And you said,
I don't remember what I said. What did I say?
You said, listen, if you were going to a master chef's house,
oh yes, yeah.
Did you ask him what he's making for dinner? You just go and enjoy.
Yep.
That's quite a compliment.
And Stephen, you talked on the panel a little bit about kind of being new to the industry when this role kind of came your way. Could you tell us a little bit more about the specifics?
Yeah, I'd spent about 4 to 5 years in Chicago right after I graduated from college doing theater. I toured a little bit with the Second City, and after that, I just picked up my bags and moved to LA, kind of on like a gut check whim. On the beginning of that year, I was like, I feel like I should go, and then I just went. And the deal for this came right then too. Honestly, it's so ridiculous how everything happened. I had just tested for a pilot right before this one, and it came down to me and another guy, and I didn't get it, and I was so bummed. But then this came along, and then that other thing didn't even go past the pilot. So it's just, I am very new to the industry, but I don't know. It's literally like when I say stars aligned, it's really like the stars aligned. It's pretty amazing how everything turned out.
You couldn't ask for a better group of people to work with.
And that's something.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
This is his first time out on the ice, and he's
Yeah.
He's
And
with a team like this.
What's he gonna do next?
what did I say to you the first day I met you? I was like, excuse me if I bother you, but I'm just gonna sponge like the entire season. The entire season, all I did was absorb, and what an awesome bunch of people to absorb from. You know, I could have been on a show with someone terrible. You hear all those horror stories, but this is the best thing that has happened. You know, it's pretty great.
Steven and Jeffrey, I was wondering if you guys spoiled yourself by reading the comics, like, because it's been going on for a while.
It's over there. I read it before, but then as soon as I read up to the point that I got this, and then I stopped reading from there. And I think, you know, you just don't want to inform yourself too much, and they're two different things too.
That must be hard to do. I mean, like, you want to read it so bad.
I want to know what happens to my character.
Yeah, you know, if I wanted to read it at this point, what I would want to read it for is just being a fan of the comic. You know, like for me, I was reading it before I even knew this was a project, and I was reading it just like, it's just like crack, because you stop the last one, and you're like,
compliment, really, if you think about it.
it's like this thing
It's a
that you
horrible,
put
horrible,
in.
debilitating addiction. It'll take your money, your life, everything.
More that Walking Dead, man.
It's created just squalor and dick ghettos. It's been terrible.
It's an epidemic.
But I mean, like, you know, I would read it for the entertainment value as opposed to what happens next, because, like Robert said, they're two very separate things.
Did you ever manage to get Stephen King to help you out this season?
All I can say is that Stephen King's definitely into doing it, and his son Joe Hill was going to be participating as well, and we just couldn't find the window for them to be able to do it. When they were available, we couldn't make it work, and when we were available, they couldn't make it work. So we're going to try and see what we can do in the future, but we're all very hopeful that we'll get that to work out.